Hello folks and welcome back to another video on my channel. The retro aesthetic is more trending than ever before and I'm all here for it. You know, when making videos you can color grade them, do a whole bunch of stuff to it, add some grain, but really getting that film look and analog feel is pretty difficult. And this is why we talk about this tool called Dehancer, which allows you to tweak your video in a very easy way and get authentic film emulation. It works for After Effects, Premiere, Final Cut and DaVinci Resolve. In my case, we tested on DaVinci Resolve. But before we get into the video, let me say one thing. Dehancer sent me their plugin for free to test it, but they don't get to watch the video before I upload it. So you guys get my completely honest opinion about this tool. And with that, let's dive right into the video. The footage you're seeing on screen right now is completely color graded with Dehancer in DaVinci Resolve. And this footage is from my previous video about Dehancer for photo. Make sure to watch it, it's linked down in the description and up here. And in this video I go more in depth about where Dehancer came from and how actual film works. And with that, let's take the clips I've shot for this video and color grade them in DaVinci Resolve and let me show you how it works. We're now in DaVinci Resolve and I have my clips right here on the timeline. We switch over to the color page and at first we need to do some work. Add a node and just like with the Dehancer version for photo, you should do your basic adjustments before you go into Dehancer. You can apply a lot before you use Dehancer if you want a more stylized look, but for me personally, I like just dragging Dehancer into the second node and go on. We just pulled the gain a bit up and adjusted our white balance, and that's basically it. You can convert to Rec 709 if you shoot with multiple cameras, like matching all of them and getting them to Rec 709 and then applying Dehancer. But in this case, we just take the Dehancer and put it onto our clip. And this is where we select the source. Rec 709, Cine on Film Log and stuff like that. But we choose camera, select Fujifilm, in my case, the X-T4 and F-Log. And this is where we can start and have a whole bunch of adjustments. At first I take the exposure compensation and lift everything a bit, make it a bit warmer, just like that. After that we enable our film, and for me I like Kodak Vision 3 500T a lot. And we pull it a bit over a stop. I would go just like that. Then we enable our film developer, put a bit of color boost in there just to make the colors really pop. And I don't know what it is. When I just use the color boost or saturation in DaVinci Resolve, or it doesn't have the same feeling like pulling up the color boost slider in Dehancer. It does something different. I don't know what it is. And we boost the contrast a little bit. Then we go down to our film compression, and this is where the magic happens. We enable it and you see how the highlights come down a bit, but in a very, very natural way. Just like that. And a bit more color density. And now we just leave everything like that. Just pull the black point a bit down. And I think we can go a bit warmer. That looks better. Now we go to the print section and I really like using Kodak print film. There we have some stuff like tonal contrast. And this is how I think it looks good. I love how Dehancer mimics the steps in the same way like shooting actual film. You choose your film stock, develop the film, and then print it. Then we can tweak the color head, a very nice tool to give some separation between highlights, midtones and shadows. And this is where we can really give it the extra bit. Just like that. And now we come to the most important part of emulating film, and this is grain, halation, bloom, and stuff like that. And for me personally, I like grain a lot, but it doesn't need to be that strong. So in my case, I take 65mm ISO 500. And then we go down to the halation. Turn it on, and I like stronger halations, and this is where I think 35mm no ramjet layer works best. You can, of course, choose different film sizes, and this affects the strength of your halation, and you can tweak the strength of your halation with a slider down there. And I think this is about right. If you were not using a promised filter like I do for all my videos, you can use the bloom feature and really get that black mist filter bloom in post, which is great because sometimes I want to do projects where I do different cuts, one like clean video and one more rough video, and this is where I can decide to add the bloom afterwards. Then we take a bit of film damage, and this is where we go to 65 or 70mm, pull it a bit up, and there you can really see those little white spots. And now we have film breath and gate weave, and this basically mimics the movement of the physical film. Like you have your gate right here, here's your lens, and here is your motion picture film. And while it's transported behind your gate, it sometimes moves a bit like that. And this is what film breath and gate weave can mimic. Just to look at it, this is how it looks. It gets stronger with smaller films, just because smaller films tend to wobble a bit more. But for me personally, it's again 65 or 70mm. It is not that distracting, but it is definitely noticeable and makes it look more authentic. A bit of vignette never killed anyone, so we take a bit of vignette. And now the important part. If you want film-like borders, you can select it right here. And they look super authentic. From 8mm to Panavision 65mm film, you can choose everything and tweak it extremely well. Just like that, you can make it look like you actually scanned motion picture film right here. Even gate defocus is an option where it basically defocuses the film strip. But for now, we just turn that off. False color and clipping indication are some very useful tools built into Dehancer. And after that, you can select the total impact of the Dehancer, and you have the option to generate LUTs out of your color grades with Dehancer. Now we just copy it over to our other clips and tweak them so they do look good. And I really like how you can get a unified look across multiple different scenes and shots just with tweaking some small things in Dehancer, and you get basically a look that makes it seem like you filmed your whole project on the same film stock. This shot is in here just to show you that you don't need to have the ultra bright, perfectly lit HDR scene to get your shot. In this scene you can just see it is blue, noisy as hell, but it brings across a feeling, a vibe. And this is where you can see that you can get cleaner shots out of Dehancer. And I actually shot a whole music video using my X-T4, one light, and color graded everything with Dehancer, and it looks clean as hell, but has a really nice tonality to it. But more about that in my next video, and I wanted to start this new series called Behind the Shot, where I analyze a shot I've done, pick it apart, and really go in depth how I've done it, what I envisioned right there. And stay tuned and make sure to watch it. But now I got some things about Dehancer. Now that I've talked over 10 minutes about Dehancer, some of you may want to buy Dehancer. For that, go down in the description and use the code TNSP to get 10% off. Make sure to follow Dehancer on YouTube and Instagram. I link everything down below. And with the promo code TNSP, you can get 10% off of your purchase. That works for the photo and video plugin. You're not only supporting Dehancer, but you're supporting me as well when you buy it with my code. And with that, let's talk about the Dehancer Colorist Awards 2024. They close on December 16th, so make sure to send in your video. You can compete in 6 different categories and win prizes like a $5,000 reward or lifetime access to Dehancer, and it is a really great way to showcase your work and use Dehancer. But now, what do I think about Dehancer for DaVinci Resolve? I think it is a great tool to get your videos look good fast, and it is the only tool I know so far, and I did a lot of research, that can really emulate analog film. It is not just like putting LUTs on your video, it's a true film emulation. They put an incredibly big amount of work into developing something that has a nice workflow and looks great. Answer any further, if you got the money, just get it, because for me personally, it changed the way I color grade videos. It made things easier, faster, and the look is so great. I really love the look, and compared to shooting actual film, it is more convenient and way more inexpensive. And with that, thank you for watching, have a nice one, and see you the next time. Is the camera still rolling?